Blue skies, 22 degrees, Florence, Kentucky. Let's see some houses.
If you've been sitting on the sidelines because interest rates have been high, home prices have been high, and you've been waiting, I get it. I know why you want to do that. But today, I want to show you what 300,000-ish can get you in Northern Kentucky, and I want to tell you why now is a great time to buy. Let's do it. All right, what's up, guys? I'm here in Florence, Kentucky. I'm about to show you this ranch home, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, about 1,500 square feet, 2-car garage, unfinished basement. You can get something like this in the 300s. This one's listed for $315,000 in Florence, Kentucky. You can also get something very similar that's not a ranch, probably a 2-story around 1,800 square feet would be my guess, in that price range if you're looking in the 300s. Guys, it is a cold, brisk 22 degrees out here, late November, but I wanted to come out this morning to not only show you these houses in the 300s. You might not think it's a great time of year to buy a house, but I'm gonna tell you exactly why it is. All right, let's go check out this house together. I think you're gonna like it. All right, walking into this house, I know immediately what this is. This is an older couple. This house was built in the early 2000s. It says on the listing remarks that it was meticulously maintained, and I've got to tell you, that's put on listing remarks a lot, and it actually is. Like, if you could see these carpet lines behind me, they're actually legit. The house smells good and clean and fresh. Now, everything is outdated by 20 years. You've got the original light fixtures. You've got paints from the early 2000s. You've got kind of Formica countertops over here. So everything is outdated, but at $315,000 for a 3-bedroom, 2 full bath, first floor living ranch, 2-car garage, full basement downstairs that you could finish and have a ton more extra space, this house is a really good opportunity. Now, let me tell you why, beyond just this house, let's take that out of consideration for a minute, why buying right now actually makes a lot of sense.
All right, so if you guys have watched my channel enough, you know that I'm not a hard sell kind of person. I hate hard sells. Whenever I feel like I'm getting hard sell, I run out of there. I hate it. What I try to do is bring you guys great content. If you like the channel, if you like the topics, if you think I know what the heck I'm talking about, maybe you'll give me a call. Great. What I want to do right now is give you 2 tips as to why right now is a really good time to buy, even though you might not feel like it. So tip number 1 is seasonality. Right now, when I'm recording this, it's late November. It'll probably come out mid-December, something like that. But really, from now in the Cincinnati area market, Northern Kentucky, from now until through February, you're in that cold winter season where a lot of buyers hunker down. There's not a lot of inventory on the market because your Thanksgiving, your Christmas, your New Year's, there's not a lot of people looking to put their house on the market. However, the ones that do put it on the market, it's because they need to sell. So what's great about buying at this time of year is you have less competition from the buyers out there. Both sellers and buyers, more of them come out in the springtime, but in the winter, there's just less activity overall. It's usually around 30% less activity in terms of sales in the Cincinnati area market. So what you want to do at this time of year is if you can find a home like this, it's in great condition, honestly, but it's been sitting for maybe a week or 2 or even 3, and the sellers might be getting a little antsy because they know it's been such a hot market the last few years. That is a great time to buy because A, you're not competing against any other buyers with an offer, so you can come in lower than the ask price and possibly get a deal, which has been super rare the last few years. And guys, this applies across the board really in any price point. So in this video, I'm showing you some houses in the 300s, but whether you're shopping in the 400s, 500s, 600s, 700s, 800s, it doesn't matter. This concept of buying in the wintertime when it's a little bit slower can really work out for you as a buyer. Okay, I felt like I needed to come into the study for this second point. The second point of why now is a good time to buy is interest rates. And I know you're like, Eric, you're crazy. I can't buy as much house right now because interest rates are so much higher than they were just a year or so ago where they're in the 4s and 5s. Now they're in the 7s. What are you talking about? Why is it a good time to buy because of interest rates? Let me tell you. Okay, so do you want a lower interest rate? Yes, but so do millions of other Americans. So what are the possibilities here? There's 2 possibilities of what can happen with interest rates. Number 1, they could go higher. So we're in the 7s right now, 7.5. I know we hit 8, but what if they go to 8, 9, 10, 11? If you look over the history of the last 40 years, that's not that uncommon. Back in the 70s and 80s and into the 90s, interest rates were in the 9s, 10s, 11s a lot of the time. So it's not unfeasible to think if inflation keeps going higher and the Fed can't get a rein on it, they're gonna raise interest rates even more. And you're gonna be looking back at this video and be like, I should have listened to Eric in November of 2023 when interest rates are in the 7s and I could have locked in.
I should have thought about that right away.
So that's point number one, is interest rates could go higher and you could afford even less house in the future if you don't buy now. Now, reason number two, interest rates can go lower. And you're like, yeah, duh, Eric, I want interest rates to go lower so I can afford more house because these payments are ridiculous. I want lower interest rates. Let me tell you why that's a problem. There are a ton, hundreds of thousands, and maybe even millions of Americans who are sitting on the sidelines right now, not buying a house because interest rates have gone up pretty quickly over the last year. If interest rates go down, yes, you can get a lower interest rate, but you're gonna be competing against millions of other Americans all shopping for the same houses of low inventory that we've had on the market forever. And they're all gonna be coming out, raising prices back up, and you're gonna be fighting these people off. So yes, you'll probably have a lower payment, but the competition is gonna be way more fierce than if you were to buy something right now at a higher interest rate, lock it in, and then if interest rates go down, you can always refinance. You guys see?
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Guys, there's a lot to like about the house. The master suite, first floor living on one side of the house. You've got 2 bedrooms on the other side of the house, so you can either put the kids there or you can have 1 bedroom and an office. You can have a guest suite. Really easy living here on the first floor. You've got laundry right off by the garage. But I want to show you one of my favorite parts about this house is, and you might be surprised as to why. There's so many people who are moving to Northern Kentucky and Cincinnati, they're like, tell me about the basements. I want to show you guys about this basement. It's gonna get a little echoey in here, but this is amazing. This thing is dry as a bone. Again, this is a poured foundation. This home was built, I believe, in 2003. This thing is ready to be finished. Right now, it can be just tons of storage space. What you have down here right now is your furnace, you have your water heater, you have your main water line over here that's easy to turn off, electric panel. This right down here is called a sump pump. If you guys don't know what that is, if water does hit the foundation, comes to this pump, drains it right out, keeps this thing bone dry. So you could easily finish this thing off, put another full bathroom down here, put a guest suite down here. Let me turn this on. If you wanted to, see these window wells right here behind me, you could dig this down a little bit further and do a walkout basement. If you wanted to technically have a bedroom down here, this doesn't count. You've got to have an egress window, so you have to dig this down a little bit further so that you can have a fire escape, basically. So it's to code, otherwise you can't technically count it as a bedroom. But if you did that, put a few $1,000 into that, made this thing a 4-bedroom, maybe a 3 full bath, and you lived here for a few years, you're upping your resale value. All right, so I just walked this off. If you finish all the square footage down here, you've got basically another 1,500 square feet. So now you're getting a $315,000 home, maybe even less if you buy it at this time of year. And if you finish this off, which would cost you, I don't know, depending on what you do, let's call it $30,000 to $50,000, something like that. Do I look better? So now you're getting up to nearly 3,000 square foot of space. Maybe you've put in 50, maybe you've even put in 60 to 70 to 80 if you've updated the bathrooms and the kitchen and the paint upstairs. But you're getting 3,000 square foot of space for, what are you all in at? $385, something like that? Pretty good deal here to get that house in Florence, Kentucky. So do a little math with me. Let's say you finish this off and you get another 1,200 square feet of house. You're up to 27 square feet. Maybe you're all in at like 375, 385, depending on what you do upstairs. Maybe you want to redo the kitchen, the baths. Even if you're all in at 400 and you put $85,000 into this house, you've got 2,800 square feet, awesome living space for $400,000. Can you get that where you live? Those are the real benefits of living here in Northern Kentucky and Cincinnati, is what you can get for your dollar. It goes a long way, not to mention the low cost of living. And I'm running those numbers, and that's only if you want to put the money into the house. Of course, like I said, this house is meticulously maintained. You don't have to do a thing. You could probably get this house for, I would say, close to $310,000, maybe $305,000, something like that, under list price, move-in ready. You don't have to do a thing, and you're getting a phenomenal house to live in. So what can you get for $300,000 in Northern Kentucky? Now you guys know. And why is it such a great time of year to buy? A, because of seasonality, and B, because of what's happening with interest rates and what everyone else is doing with interest rates right now. So you can take advantage of that great opportunity and buy in this winter season. If this video was helpful for you, please click that like button and subscribe. If you want to watch more great content, watch this video right here. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you in the next one.